Okay, Rob, thanks very much. And the official order of finish, Susie Faber finished first, Lori Wolter was second, and Jeannie Kruckerberg finished third. And there you see the times. Now we're going to move right ahead to our next mile, the high school boys mile. And you mentioned she mentioned, Susie Faber did, it's a very, very fast course. And as we move along, the times, I guess, are going to be extremely quick down this mall.
Well, I think so. I think the first three finishers in that women's race all ran better than their personal best. So there's nothing that a track athlete likes more than to set a personal record. And Roman Gomez from California, who's run a 4:07 mile and is here today, should be very excited about maybe running faster than that here. And he's got some pretty good competition.
We have an interesting story in this next race. There are two brothers, Eric Mastelar and Mark Mastelar. Now, they are competing against one another. They are from El Dorado, California. And we talked to Mark about how it is competing against his brother. It's got to be an interesting predicament.
Well, I've been competing against Eric for a few years now, and I think having him there helps me out because we race the same way and we have some of the same tactics, and it makes both of us better runners competing against each other.
All right, there you have it, the brother combination competing in the high school boys mile. Let's go to the start line now and to Joe Schmidt. Joe?
Well, Bob, Susie Faber is definitely the class in the high school mile, and the person who comes in with the best credentials in the high school mile for the boys is Roman Gomez from California. Roman, a fast mile for Susie Faber, 4:42. What do you think you can do out here?
Well, I'm not sure about what I can do, but I think a 4:09, 4:10 will win the race.
You're going to shoot for it?
I'm going to try my best.
All right, should be a great race, and we're going to have it for you in a minute. Bob?
Thanks a lot, Joe. Marty, high school boys.
He sounded a little nervous, didn't he, Bob? It's got to be about the biggest crowd that any high school runner has come up against, and I can remember the first time I was in front of a crowd of 30,000, I thought the sound was going to knock me over. So there's some nervous people down there, but those nerves are good. That's what produces the great races.
Well, let's set the field for you for the high school boys mile down Nicollet Mall. In lane number 1 will be Eric Mastelar, El Dorado, California. His younger brother of Mark, also in the race, just 2 seconds off of Mark's time, so those two will be competing against one another. Roman Gomez, Los Angeles, California, second ranked in the high school mile in the country, the California high school champ as far as the mile run is concerned. Number 296, Carson Hoft of Plymouth, Minnesota, national junior champ in the 800 meters, second in Minnesota Class AA. Number 300, John Long of St. Paul, Minnesota, third in Class AA cross country, fourth in the Class AA 1600 meter in 1985. Number 303, Andy Martin of Clinton, New Jersey, 3200 meter and cross country champ, 1984 national junior champ in the 5000 meter. Number 308, Jeff Taylor, now lives in Cincinnati, former Minnesota Class AA champ in the 1600 meter. Mark Mastelar, he is, of course, the brother of Eric. We told you about that, of El Dorado, California, second in the California high school mile behind Roman Gomez. So those two, Mark Mastelar and Roman Gomez, will probably be the early leaders in this race. And we get ready for the start of the second race of the high school boys mile.
I see the Mastelar brothers haven't given us a break, Bob, as they are both running in blue uniforms, and they look like two bookends right now as they close in on the field. On both ends of the field, Roman Gomez and the very tall runner, Carson Huff, is an 800-meter specialist. If this pace is slow, he might really pull an upset here. He might have the speed at the end to really kick and win the race.
Mark Mastelar and John Long both in front there, but the runners are tightly grouped at this point as they go through that first quarter mile or so of a slightly uphill terrain.
It's very tough to know your competition when you're a high school runner because people are improving at such a tremendous rate that you think you've got the solution to beating someone one week, and then a month and a half later they've improved so greatly that the strategy doesn't work. So you really have to go out and run your own race, try to win the race, and no one in this race right now is doing that. They're all looking at each other. The pace, you can see they're not really flying out of the starting gate as the women did for the first 400 meters.
Mark Mastelar in the middle of the pack there in the blue shirt, number 310, but basically they're just pretty well grouped there.
Yes, you see Huff again on the outside and the right, looking around. No one has taken an aggressive lead, and Roman Gomez, who is considered the favorite, the man with the fastest time in the field, 4:07, is content to stay back and just draft on the others right now.
They're just now approaching 7th Street and the idea is Skyway. They will pass under that Skyway and then work their way on down Nicollet Mall. As the crowds continue to build, more and more people are jamming along the race route, and I'm sure these high school boys, what a tremendous thrill for them.
And Gomez continues to stay back and perhaps waiting to just win it with a kick. Perhaps letting an opportunity to run a really fast time go by the boards here as they go past the first half mile. They are now on level ground, and on the very right-hand side, you see Gomez swinging wide. He may be trying to work his way to the front right now after conservatively running the first part of the race, which is uphill.
Now Roman Gomez moves back into the middle of the pack.
Well, we have 2:10 for the first half mile, which is very slow. The other reason we know it's slow is that everyone is right there. No one has been dropped. The pace has been slow. They have turned it into a half-mile race almost now, and it's going to be a very close race at the finish. And Gomez is now not even protecting his position. He is just about out of it. There he is right there,
starting to
Gomez. Middle of the summer, and I guess he didn't keep his training up.
Marty, it appears that Mark Mastelar and Eric Mastelar and John Long, those are the three runners that are in the lead portion of the pack. Roman Gomez, probably the pre-race favorite, he is fading back. You see the Mastelar brothers there side by side, elbow to elbow, as they move along towards 11th Street behind the motorcycle policeman clearing the way, and there to the right-hand side you see number 300, John Long. So it's the Mastelar brothers and John Long.
Certainly makes sense. It's hard for the high school runners to keep training during the summer, and to have a brother to train with you could make those lonely runs really help. 3:13 at the three-quarters, so they picked that pace up to a 63-second pace. They ran 70 seconds, 70 seconds, and now a 63, and I would guess that this last quarter mile downhill is going to be around 56 to 58 seconds. They are going to be moving now as they come around the last turn.
And at 13th Street, Marty, it is Mark Mastelar who is starting to pull away along with his brother Eric. They are starting to pull away. John Long is in third place as they make the turn to Grant Street, and now they head for home, and it is the Mastelar brothers. It is Eric and Mark. Mark is in front with Eric behind as they stride towards the finish. What a duel between two brothers from El Dorado, California. They come down to cheers. Mark Mastelar looks back at his brother Eric, and at the finish line it is going to be Mark S. Mastelar first, and Eric finishes second. And that is the way it has been throughout their career, because Mark Mastelar, his best time is 2 seconds faster than Eric, and that's what happened in this race today.
Well, the other thing that's very important to them, I'm sure, is that Roman Gomez was there, defeated them in the California High School Championship, so they have some slight vindication for that. Very interesting to have two brothers dueling it down the stretch. You just wonder how hard they really could run against each other.
Well, we've had two tremendous races. What a battle between brothers, and we'll be back to talk to the winner of the high school boys mile right after this. I think that's a pretty good view of the course, the Nicollet Mall, a bird's-eye view of the competition today. And we've had some, that's the Hyatt Regency, some of the folks leaning over the rail to see that final turn as they head for Grant Street and the final stretch towards the finish line. Back again live with you, Bob Bruce, along with Marty LaCory. And Marty, what a great race. Two brothers, and they'll talk about this for the rest of their lives, running down Nicollet Mall in front of thousands of people and battling right to the finish.
It certainly was a good race, and they went out and went to the front of the pack right from the beginning. But you decide. I really don't know how hard they were running against each other. Two beautiful runners. They have great form. They've run against each other many times, and they finish in basically the same position that they usually do, with the one Mark edging his younger, well, I don't know if he's his younger brother.
Well, the times, 4:11:33 for Mark Mastelar and 4:11:41.
Well, Roman
Eric
Gomez was right in his pre-race prediction. 4:12 would win the race, but he didn't. 4:10 would win the race, he said, but he didn't run 4:10. He was 4:30.
All right, let's go to Rob Lear, who is now with Mark Mastelar. Rob?
Thank you very much, Bob. It is indeed the younger brother. It is Mark Mastelar, who has won from all the way from California. And you said your brother has, what, 4 minutes on you?
Eric's 4 minutes older than I am, yes.
Well, you caught up for that today with that 2-second victory. 4:11, your impressions of the course and the time that you set here today?
Well, the course is good. I thought the uphill at the beginning might be a factor, but the downhill makes up for it, and you really start to loosen up and stretch out when you hit the downhill.
And you said you haven't recently, anyway, been working on any kind of speed work.
Right. I've just been training long distance to get in shape for cross country, which starts in September.
What's that trip going to be like home, knowing that you beat your brother once again?
Well, it's no big deal. Eric beats me in a lot of meets, and I beat him, and it's good to have him here because we push each other, and it makes us better athletes in the end.
This race live up to its billing?
Yes, it does. I'm really impressed. I've run a mile before, but on the road, but it doesn't equal this one. This one's the best.
Congratulations goes out to Mark Mastelier. Congratulations to you,
Thank
Bob.
you very much.
Well, the runners seem to like the course so far. They must like that fast downhill time because the times are very quick.
Well, that's interesting. There's a bit of an uphill, but as Mark said, the downhill at the end makes up for it, and that's what's the important thing in the runner's mind.
Let's give you a look at the official finishing order and the times once again. Mark Mastelier at 4:11:33, his brother Eric in second at 4:11:41, and in third, John Long at 4:15:01. Coming up, collegiate women, and we're going to have some great competition in the collegiate women, and after that, of course, the collegiate men, and then when we go on, of course, to the world-class men and women as we move along throughout the afternoon.